Hey there, it is Wendy Hernandez with the Command the Courtroom again. And I'm going to try to do a few more quick live streams. I am trying to form a habit of doing these quick little live streams for you every day. So I am back again with the quick one. But before I dive into what I want to talk about, I want to remind you, for you or anybody who you think might need it, this coming Friday at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time, I'm going to be giving a training on beating child custody case Overwhelm. The link to register is in the description for this video, so share it with anybody who you think could benefit from it. So today I want to talk with you about not taking issues to the judge immediately when you find out there's an issue. And yes, judges are paid to solve problems, but there are a couple of reasons that you don't want to bring every problem to your judge. The first reason, and the easiest reason to understand, is this: because you don't know what your judge is going to do. Generally speaking, you may have a judge who's a good judge, but your judge may have a bad day, because that happens to all of us. We're all humans. Sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes we have a fight with our significant other. Sometimes we get into a fight with our teenager, and it just throws us off. So you don't know what your judge is going to do, even if you have a good judge, or you may have a bad judge. In any event, when you take issues to the judge, the outcome is always going to be uncertain. And my husband likes to watch boxing and the MMA stuff. And what he tells me is, like, you don't want to leave decisions to the judges. You want to take those kinds of battles or fights out of the hands of the judges. Don't leave it to the judges. You take it out of the judges' hands, and you try to resolve those issues on your own. If you resolve the issues on your own, you're going to be more invested in the result, and you're going to be certain what the result is. But the first reason not to take things to the judges is because you might not like your judge's answer. So that's number one. And number two is judges like to see you work things out prior to taking those issues to them. And I've been reminded of this, unfortunately, within the last 6 months on a couple of cases that I had. And in these cases, in one case, the other side delayed and delayed and delayed on giving us an answer to a question that we asked, that my client and I asked of the other side. We wanted a favor of sorts from them, and they delayed. So we filed a motion, and the judge set a hearing, a status conference on our motion. And the day before the status conference, the other side finally said okay to what we were requesting, after we had to go through the problem of writing a motion. And the other side wanted us to agree to get rid of that hearing that was on the calendar. Well, we didn't do that. We wanted to go in front of the judge because we wanted the judge to give my client attorney's fees and costs, because we were forced to file a motion on this issue, which should have been simple to resolve. Well, what ended up happening is the judge was mad because we didn't talk to the other side, because the other side said that they agreed, even though they waited until the last minute to do it. And the judge really admonished me and the other attorney for not talking to each other. So I was reminded of a really important lesson, and that is something that I usually do, and it's easy to do when you have an opposing attorney or an opposing party who is easy to work with. I forgot what I had learned, because this opposing attorney was not that easy to work with. So we just took it to the judge, and although the judge gave my client what my client wanted, it did not happen in a way that I enjoyed. My client and I kind of got yelled at and admonished, and I just realized then that was not the best route to go. In another situation that I recently had, the opposing party's attorney filed a motion without even talking to me and my clients about the issue first. And that was unfortunate, because it's something that we could have resolved. But because they filed a motion, and because I couldn't reach the other attorney, my client had to spend a ton of money for us to respond to that motion, when we were essentially in agreement, but we just needed to shore up a couple of details. And in that case, the other side got what she was asking for, which my client was willing to agree to. but both parties had to spend a bunch of money to get there. So I know that you might be dealing with somebody who's hard to work with a narcissist, with a high conflict situation, and it may not be easy to go to them and to talk to them and try to get agreements on certain issues. I understand that. That happens a lot. In a lot of these cases, I'm dealing with difficult people. But when the case goes to trial, if you end up in trial, a judge is going to be deciding whether or not you were reasonable, especially if you're asking for attorney's fees or the other side is asking for attorney's fees. And you cannot advance an argument that you've been reasonable if you've gone running to the judge for every little thing without trying to work it out first. So I think those are 3 reasons that I've given you that are pretty good for trying to work issues out, no matter how big or small, before taking them to the judge. Number 1, because you don't know what the judge is going to do. Number 2, actually, this is number 3, but it's this, I'm thinking because you want to be reasonable. And then the second, I forget the second reason, but there were 3 reasons. Oh my gosh. Number 1, because you want to take it out of the judge's hands. Number 2, because you want to be reasonable. And number 3, because you just don't want to look bad to the judge. You want to look as though you're trying to work things out. And in fact, you might be able to work things out. So anyways, I had a little memory glitch there. But one thing at the top of my mind is, number 1, if you or anybody you know is going through a child custody case and you're feeling powerless and hopeless and overwhelmed, on Friday, I'm giving a training at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time in Arizona. The link is in the description. You have to register to get access to the training. I'll send out a replay afterwards, but it's a lunch and learn type training, and it'll be worth it, I promise. And the second thing is if you have not already checked out those best interest factors, then you need to do that. You need to get the checklist and understand what your judge is going to be looking at in making decisions about your child custody case. So download the best interest checklist. It's been downloaded by thousands of people over the years. And the link to that is in the description. Keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming, keep the emails coming. I get ideas for new videos from your comments, questions, and emails. I can't respond to them individually. I get so many because of ethical considerations, but I look at them and I do my best to come up with things that are going to help you in the future. So that is going to do it for this little video today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're working hard on your case. I hope that you join me for the upcoming training. And I'm getting ready to upload some videos to YouTube. I uploaded a short today, so check that out. And until I see you, probably tomorrow, remember to get out there and command the courtroom. Bye-bye.